Okay. Okay, Jimmy, take us away.
All right, here we go.
Rafa.
Rafa Hewitt in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He's got plenty of time to watch the pod because he's usually out in the round of 64. I love him so much.
He's in a bronze medal match. That's the worst trade you've ever made.
How was my coaching yesterday, Rafa?
Hey, Rafa Hewitt, come out Sunday, bronze medal match. Rafa, Idaho boy, the 208 representing in the 801.
Hey, if you and Jay got in a fight, who would win?
Who wins in a fight? You and Jay. Oh, is that the French in him? Wow. Welcome to KOTC.
All right, we will be doing some questions afterwards. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask those and we will answer those to the best of our ability. We have, Jimmy, give us an intro to this guy.
We have the one, the only, the CEO. What is your title these days? CEO?
Yeah.
The CEO of the UPAA.
Who came up with that name?
I feel like that's redundant.
Redundant?
United Pickleball Association of America?
Not UPAA, UPA. That's what Jason Aspis is doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. UPAA is more governing body type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jason
exactly.
Aspis, the kitchen guy.
I know, a lot of acronyms.
Okay, UPA, the CEO of UPA, the one and only Connor Pardoe. Clap it up.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It should be fun.
Yeah, Connor, we've been waiting for this for a long time. We actually did a pod with you, and we had to scrap it because it was literally 2 days before the infamous Tour Wars.
I was going to say, I feel like I've done this before, but this is actually my first one now.
Yeah, so this is the first one that we're going to keep. That's going to count. There's no deleting it because everybody's here watching. Right?
Great. Yeah, no, it's exciting.
So
what could go wrong?
Nothing.
So
we're here at the Picklr Utah Open here in Salt Lake City, your hometown, Tyler's home state, my home state. What do you think so far, Connor? How do you think it turned out?
Yeah, I think it's turned out really good. I mean, when this is obviously something that's new for us, coming inside a convention center, 30 courts that are temporary. You know, we're learning a lot. I think Tyler's been one of the biggest advocates for this. There's a few of the pro players now that are really focused on trying to have as many tour events or as many Major League Pickleball events indoor. And so we've already seen a lot of benefits of that. Like yesterday, there was a big hailstorm. There was a lot of rain. The fact that we're in here and we're inside, it's been pretty cool. And it's the first time doing something like this, so you learn a lot. If we did it again, there's probably a lot we would change, but definitely happy with the outcome and the players and everybody that's here.
Is pickleball an indoor sport like Tyler Leung thinks?
You know, I think there's pros and cons to both. In a perfect world for me, we would probably see a hybrid, doing a little bit of both.
Makes sense.
What's the hybrid? What's the perfect amount? We have 20 tournaments a year. How many are indoor versus outdoor?
Probably like 5 or 6 indoor.
Oh, Tyler wants 14 and 6. 14 indoor, 6 outdoor.
Actually, I think about it, 20 indoor.
And the outdoor have to be perfect conditions. He wrote an email about it. They have to be perfect conditions that only benefit him.
Yeah, he's really good at complaining. I agree.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Wow.
He's that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, or someone compiled an email, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, I told you not to send that.
Wow. You know, I think there's pros and cons to both. There's something about being outside at a San Clemente Orange County Cup or being at, the Atlanta Grand Slam that we do in Atlanta. But definitely awesome to be here. There's just things that you can do here that you really can't do in other places. The fact that you can make the stadium court.
Oh.
I thought you knew how to do this.
I thought we had I thought we had an engineer. There you go. No, we're good.
We're good.
What's your
roll with the dirty
There we
feet.
go. What's your favorite venue? Do you have one?
My personal favorite? We have some of the OG venues, some of the ones that we've been doing now. It's so crazy to think that we'll be coming up on 5 years here.
That's nuts. I saw a picture the other day of you giving out a check to Michelle Esquivel and to Irina. Irina looks like she's 16.
First ever. Yeah, she still looks great, Irina, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't see her enough anymore here on the PPA, but we see her a lot at MLP. That was the very first gold medalist ever was Michelle Esquivel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Once a bear, always a bear.
Yeah, but anyways, like favorite venues, favorite tournaments, some of those just have like a special place in my heart, I guess. Like the Mesa. We've been going there every year, even though that's now moved to the Arizona Athletic Ground. Atlanta has been a place we've been going to for a long time. The Darling Tennis Center we've been going to for a long time. So those are usually my favorites, ones that I hate to miss.
I talked to a couple of pros this morning, and they said if they could do every event at San Clemente and Atlanta, they'd be happy.
Yeah. I think most would. Yeah.
Just rotate them back and forth. Yeah.
East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You two have a funny history. So you guys played in St. George.
We did. So
And supposedly Jimmy was about to win the match.
There's no way.
we should talk about
There's
this.
no way. Do you have the video of this match?
It wasn't on video. You probably deleted the evidence. So let's talk about it. So we played Red Rock, the first Red Rock,
The first ever.
first ever Red Rock. You were playing with your dad.
2020. There he is over there.
2020. You were playing with your dad, and I was playing with a guy named Dylan Nelson, and it was I was losing 14-15, and hit a ball.
Match point.
Match point. I hit a ball right down the line. I mean, right down the middle. Perfect. I mean, it couldn't have been better, honestly. Like I was
Down
about
the middle of the court.
middle of the court. I was about to turn pro after that. Like it was couldn't have been a better shot. Your dad actually looks at me and says, "Hey, good shot," and
Wow.
you say, "No, that was out."
There's no way.
You said, "No," and you like, "No, that was out," and then you walked up to shake paddles, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" And then
Hey, look. If the ball is out, the ball's out. I can't help you. I can't make you a better pickleball player.
listen,
You know.
honestly, like, I can't even say it. I can't even say it with a straight face. So you came to me at the net.
He wanted.
I got a little heated. This is my fault.
What did you say to me?
I said, how can you run a tour and have zero integrity?
Whoa.
Whoa.
That was
That's so
harsh.
far.
That was harsh.
Yeah. How could you run a podcast and have zero integrity?
Well, that's how I have a podcast. That's the whole reason I have it. You know what you said to me?
What is
You
it?
said, don't come.
Yeah. Do you want a refund? How much was the interest fee?
Back then, probably like $30, right? Anyways, that was my first experience. Actually, I played with you another time in Saratoga Springs. You were visiting your in-laws.
Oh,
And-
the park where the courts are turned the wrong way.
Yes,
Patriot.
Park.
Yeah.
And it was like gale
Was
force.
I nice then?
You're super nice.
Yeah.
It's like 50 mile per hour winds. And I played
remember
with,
going there.
Yeah, and I played with you once. Anyways.
That was my first and last time at that park, by the way.
Yeah, you
They
can't.
really screwed that up.
They're turned wrong. It makes
Not a Picklr.
No, it's not a Picklr.
Not a pickler.
It's not a Picklr. So yeah, so Connor and I got a little history, but hey, we're good now.
Yeah, we're
You guys
friends
should
now.
play a tournament together, huh?
We should have played this.
I don't think we both can't move anymore. I don't think we
Yeah.
can cover enough court.
But you have length. You have.
Honestly, we would play like skinny singles, but each of us get one half
Hey.
in a doubles match.
Do you think you beat us two versus one?
Yeah.
No way.
0%.
No chance. 0% chance. You don't have enough money in your wallet to make that bet.
No. Did you not see my match against Gabe yesterday? It's close.
The one you lost?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
you
two
lost. Gabe Joseph would admit that Connor and I would beat him 2 versus 1.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, 100% he would. He doesn't wear socks.
How does that have
Like,
to do
that's
with?
weird.
Yeah.
Wear
Still
socks.
doesn't wear socks.
I
Gabe
still
Joseph,
think it's a
he
little
wears
weird.
ankle socks. It's kinda
I still
weird.
think it's a little bit weird.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Connor, there's a lot of hot topics in pickleball these days. You know, we love to cover them.
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
going to talk
we
about
love to talk about them. One of the hottest topics right
They
now.
didn't like you in the beginning. You know that, right?
No, they still don't.
They still don't. Okay.
Where's Kim? Is Kim here?
Kim who?
Kim Van Dyke.
Probably. She's
Where's
somewhere
Kim?
here.
I love Kim. Kim and I are tight. She used to hate. Kim is your biggest defender, probably other than your parents.
Yeah, no, she's the best. She's one of those people that are so loyal. I actually grew up playing basketball with her son, so Kim's probably known me since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, you need to be more fair to Connor." So she told me. She said every
Sounds about right. So
have
every
you been
negative
call-
thing you say about the PPA, you have to say 2 nice things about Connor. That's what she told me. I said, "Okay, Mom, I'm sorry." Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so big thing that people are talking about because just 'cause we saw it on the PPA, and maybe you guys were joking, but there's the serve, the weaponizing of the serve. Tyler and Zane debated a little bit yesterday on the
It
pod.
wasn't very heated. I thought
It
it'd be
wasn't
a lot
very
more
heated. They actually are pretty aligned.
I assume Zane's take was. I know he likes the drop serve. What was his take on the whole thing?
He
Da-
thinks you should weaponize it.
Well, he doesn't think you should weaponize it. He just thinks that you should be able to do whatever you want, but the referees should have more liberty to call it. And he says that if it doesn't have to be 100% that somebody is
Illegal.
illegal, it's just if it's more likely that they're illegal than legal, 51%, then the ref should call it. And he thinks that would discourage it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously,
What's your take?
Yeah, my take. probably isn't going to give you a lot of juice here. Like my take is, we're really just trying to understand the serve and because so many people think of it so differently, right?
Yeah.
There's some people that feel like, hey, this is against the way pickleball should be played. It's against the integrity of the sport. There's other people that just say, hey, it's the evolution of pickleball. Better players are coming in. I think the answer is that no one's going to like, because I don't think we've really figured it out yet.
How many more years do we need?
I don't think it's any more years. I think it's trying new things. Like this year, to start the year, we started changing the serve rule a little bit. Saying that you can't toss the ball up. It needed
And that
to be a drop.
lasted essentially one event, one day.
It's still how it is now. I mean,
It's
you don't see
still the
Pickle
rule.
throwing the ball up. You don't see Tyson throwing the ball up. Are there missed calls? And is
Well,
it
that's because
still
Tyson doesn't show up. He's always sick. But keep going.
Man, I wish we had him on the Black Diamonds. Wish that would have worked out.
I mean, at least you cut Jay, got that dead weight out of the way.
Stop it. Connor's pretty good though, huh?
Connor is good. That's a
Talk
good
about
trade.
the best singles player in America, and probably in the world right
Yeah,
now.
100%.
The way he's playing right
Connor's
now.
phenomenal.
His dream breaker percentage is probably 90% or 95%.
It's insane. Connor is nuts.
Yeah, so where was I? Oh, as far as the serve rule goes, Grayson Golden put out a tweet where the referees were looking at moving the service line in a little bit, trying a few different things.
Grayson was kind of clout chasing. Let's just call it what it is.
It worked. That was his most viewed tweet ever.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I think where we're at is we still want to get more feedback. We want to get more pros to be able to give their 2 cents. If I was going to make a decision today, someone said, Connor, hey, make a decision right now of what you want the serve rule to be. I would say, hey, let's go back to the way it was before we made the change this year, really, and enable the referees to call it a lot more strict.
Yeah.
So that's my issue is at
That's
this
kind of
moment,
Zane's take.
at this
Zane for
moment,
commissioner.
they're not calling it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think right now, one of the reasons they're not calling it is the new rule that we put in is more subjective. You can think about right now, there's not supposed to be any upward tick in the ball. So even just moving your weight from forward to back, if you're putting the ball out here and you're moving back to be able to serve, your hand goes up, the ball comes up. There's so many different things they're looking for. They're looking at the release, what level it's at. Are you hitting the ball from low to high? Or they're trying to look if it's a footfall. There's just too many things happening where I think really we'd like to just keep it simple and then enable the referees to call it more often. So I think that's probably going to be the direction we're going.
You should get one of those like laser levels and put it right at their waist. And then if they cross it, like alarm goes off.
What's your opinion? What do you think?
I don't think that anything that's going to make, if it's going to make the game look and feel less athletic, you shouldn't do it.
Wow, I feel like you
Because
just copied somebody.
Well, I feel like that's the truth. And I feel like the game already has a little bit of a stigma surrounding it, that it's played by an older demographic. Shout out the older ladies, they love me. It's an older demographic, and that when you get to the kitchen and you see this dinking and things, people that don't understand the game, they don't understand the strategy behind it, they think it's boring and it looks easy.
What
Which
about
obviously
Padel?
we know it's not.
Padel. They drop serve, right?
Yeah,
Padel.
bro.
That's the most young
Do
athletic
people
game.
watch Padel and be like, "Oh my gosh, these
Apparently
guys
they do. Are you serious?
Greek athletes?" In Europe, maybe they don't have anything to do. So it's different. So my point is, if it's going to make the game look less athletic, don't do it.
I do agree with you.
See, Jimmy for commissioner, deputy commissioner. Chris Patrick got another job. Can I be deputy commissioner?
How many jobs does he have?
Like 8. I heard. Can you confirm or deny that he has a Selkirk tattoo
Selkirk tattoo.
on his calf?
I have no idea. No, not on his calf. Not that I've seen. No, he does wear pants most of the time.
Okay. Rumor is he did respond to a text and say he wouldn't confirm or deny it, that he has a Selkirk tattoo on his calf. That's hardcore.
I think Yola likes him more than Selkirk.
Yeah, well, I think he's trying to cover it up quickly.
What else? Line calls?
Yeah, so video is coming.
Yeah. We're super excited about that. I still think that this is baby steps towards the right direction. It'd be great one day for us to actually be able to use Hawkeye, have full electronic line calling. But to be frank, that's just further down the road. It's expensive, and there's a lot of things that we're focused on to trying to enhance the events. However, this close claw replay is going to. You guys probably saw it debuted at
MLP.
midseason.
Yeah.
Andrea did a good job getting those guys out there, so we could really take a look at what it's going to be. So we're only one more event after this one without it, and then after Vegas,
Make
we'll have
those
that
line
at every
calls.
single
Have you
game.
heard who Tyler's playing Vegas with in mixed? He's playing with Salome.
Oh,
You know why?
That's a great match.
Because he wants to get all the hooks in before the
the last one.
last one before the line call.
If my partner has a better angle of it,
Yeah,
she has
she's
a
gonna
better
have
angle.
really good angles, knowing that it's the last event. I think she's already out, right? She's not here. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's
we're very
exciting.
excited about
Yeah.
it. I think it's gonna. Honestly, it's probably it's good for the overall sport, but man, it's been fun seeing everybody debate different line calls, what's in, what's out.
Yeah.
What's
Like
taking
if you
so
actually
long?
look at engagement, like what are people talking about online about pickleball? It's one of the number one things
Well,
people are talking about.
yeah.
Right now, we're actually looking at doing a documentary next year that will actually follow some of these pro players around,
Be awesome.
tell their story. And when I was talking to the producers, they said one of the things they loved the most was all the controversy around the line calls. Like they were pitching me on a segment they wanted to do. They wanted to call it Law and Order, and they wanted
I
the
love it.
episode to be about two things.
Who's the judge?
One, all the lawyers in pickleball, the Matt Wrights,
Yeah.
the Andrea
Andrew
Coops,
Coop,
whoever it may
Brandon
be.
French.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many of them, and
Yeah.
then they wanted to do it with Matt Wright getting pissed off about a line call or something like that. Oh my gosh, look at that shirt.
Yes. Yes. I wish we could turn this camera
Yeah,
around.
I don't know.
Sam,
Maybe
you
they can
get
cut
that?
something, but there's these shirts now that say "Where's Jimmy?"
Yes.
Just because he promises to be a lot of places and is pretty good at not keeping promises.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
that's why I need a job at the PPA.
It's a pretty sizable investment, right, with the line calls?
Yeah. No, it's gonna be it's gonna be really expensive. It'll be over $500,000 to do it for a whole season, probably closer to $1 million. And I just
will
think
this be on every court or just the center court?
it'll be on two courts. It'll be on championship court and
Hey,
grandstands.
so there's still hope for players.
Yeah,
to
there's
make-
hope. Like
yeah.
now, you're gonna have players begging to be on some random side court.
yeah.
They're like, I don't want that.
Or begging to be on center.
Yeah, or begging to be on
I'm
center.
playing against this person.
Exactly,
I need to be on one of the two
Yeah, they're like,
courts.
I will not play with them unless it's on one of those two courts. Hey, what will people complain about now on all the forums, though?
I guess
Line calls are taken
court three,
care of.
court four.
Yeah, like, what are they going to complain about?
I'm sure we'll find something.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is good though. I mean, the feedback's great. We're always trying to get a little bit bigger, a little bit better every single event. I think anyone that's seen the PPA tour since this all started in 2020, man, it's sure gotten better each time. Like even think about this event last year. We were in Brigham City. Look at how much better this is. Look how much bigger it is. The fact that we're here in downtown Salt Lake. This event's a lot more attended, better attended.
I've had a lot of pros make comments about how they love that it's downtown and everything's just walkable and like they're like literally in the heart of the city, and so they don't have to rent cars. They don't have to,
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's been fun, and it's also fun to have one, in our backyard. We've got people like Anna Bright reaching out, trying to figure out the food spots to go to, and I think it's just fun for everybody.
That's awesome. All right, PPA versus MLP. A year ago, that was the big deal. It was the big talk. We've had the merger, and now it seems like it's harmonious. They're both thriving. What's your vision? Like, what do you see? Where do you see MLP going? Where do you see PPA going?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. Obviously, the first time around when we decided to work together pre-merger, the monkey in the room always was going to be is that everybody wasn't going to be perfectly aligned. Like there was always going to be some people that wanted one property to succeed more than the other one. So even though, I mean, it was tough on really everybody. I think I lost some time on my life, this past year. It was about a year ago now when all this happened.
Yeah. So I mean, are these rumors true that like you left no with just a toothbrush, no toothbrush, jumped on a plane?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
we basically had a deal that we were going to be working together, and we got to the point where that deal needed to be at the finish line. We were ready to get it done, get it signed, and didn't hear back from the other group for some time. And then so I kind of felt like something was a little bit off. It was a couple weeks of not talking. But then as soon as I started getting phone calls from players saying, hey, I've been offered these contracts, first thing I did was leave my office in Dallas, called Kim Van Dyke, had nothing, sent Connor Ogden to Target. He picked me up some clothes. And
I heard
we
you
were
were
just
pacing
right
back and forth to the hotel, making calls with no shoes on, like at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Yeah. But anyways, to get to where we're at now, like obviously a
Grinding it
lot
out.
of pain, a lot of hard work by all accounts, all the way around. But now, it was painful getting here, but the fact that we're here now, you now have everybody aligned. And when we were going through getting the merger done, that's what you hoped, is you thought, man, I really want to get everybody aligned. But there always was that thought in the back of your head, like, hey, I'm saying these things, but it might not work out. We might get this deal done, and people still might feel the way they used to feel. And you know what? Like, it's far exceeded my expectations. I think this is the very first time where people are now starting to look at the company and they're saying, we now have 250 people that are focused on growing pro pickleball. We have 2 distinct brands. We have the PPA Tour, Major League Pickleball, and really we can make 1 + 1 = 3. We think there's a place for team pickleball. We think it's so fun, so exciting. The fact that there's team owners and cities and, we can get behind and help promote the sport. I mean, look at what we did in Utah. Look at what we did in DC. I want to see more home events for these people. But then we also have the ability to have the PPA Tour, which is focused on who are the best players in the world, who are the best players that are up and coming, and that we can tell the player stories and talk about their brands and their name, image, and likeness. And you look at someone like Connor Garnett, who's on our team now, who's over here watching. Like, how fun is it that we're able to have Major League Pickleball where he's able to play on our team, but then the very next week he's able to go win the singles title.
Yeah, Tui Nation himself.
All right, quick question for you,
Is
Connor.
that the best trade in Major League Pickleball history?
I think without a doubt.
Jay DeVilliers for Connor Garnett.
I don't know what David Cass was thinking. I'm friends with David Cass. We're partners on Duper and
like,
a few
how
other
can we
things.
trust him to get the Duper algorithm right if he makes trades like that?
I think it was Riley's decision, not
Yeah,
David's. So.
I mean, gosh,
Riley really missed on
this.
this
This is why
one.
you don't let the players become GMs. This is why LeBron is a terrible GM. Players play.
All right, Connor. Are guaranteed contracts good for the sport? We've had a lot of questions about that.
We have had a lot of questions. Do you think players essentially don't try?
And then also, in addition to that, are players making too much money, enough, or not enough?
Those are 2 good questions. Let's start with the first one first. So let's talk about guaranteed contracts. I think there's pros and cons with both. Obviously, with the guarantee, we gave the opportunity for people to actually become full-time pickleball players. They were able to quit their jobs. They were able to do this full-time. They're able to get a mortgage. They're able to know that there's going to be money coming in every single month. So I do think there's a lot of benefits of it. In a perfect world, I think having a blend of both, where there's a nice base that people know that they're getting, but then there's a little bit more incentive than there is today, is probably the best mix. But no, I haven't seen people not try. I think people care about their personal brands. They care about growing the game. They care about their individual accolades. So it hasn't been a major problem. Has there been a few times where we've had to step in and do an investigation or see if people aren't trying, or have we talked about it? Yes. Have we seen it becoming a major problem?
You've talked to individual players about that?
We've talked to individual players. We've talked to their...
What do they say? No,
Yeah, is there a punishment for that? Is there
those
like,
shots?
Because I've seen, like, in contracts, there's actually a clause that basically says you have to put forth your best effort, right?
Yeah. I mean, if someone was throwing a match or not playing the best to their ability, they'd essentially be in breach of their agreement.
Makes sense. Okay.
Next question.
The next question. Are they paid too much?
About players. Are they paid too much, not enough, or too little? Look, we're paying $31 million to pro players right now. The top 100 players are making an average salary of over $300,000.
Is Tyler overpaid?
No, I mean, look, where we're at right now, we've asked.
It's $100
He said no, so
That's
he's
$100 haircut.
He's going to increase it.
Just because your media value, you probably overplayed for your playing, for sure. Even though you have gotten a lot better, I guess you decided to drill. And that 5-minute mile, you're getting closer and closer every week.
Yeah, he is. Maybe he'll make the Olympic team someday. Treadmill Olympics.
He'll be good at that.
Yeah.
But no, if we take a look at our economic model at the UPA, we think in 3 years from now, and now we're only 2.5 years from now, that we'll be cash flow positive. That I actually think the next round players will be getting played more, not less, when it's time for contracts to be renegotiated. And when we look at the total pool that's going to players, I imagine that that's going to be over $31 million. Did we get there a little early, and did this force us to stretch and do things that probably aren't good for the business right now? Yes. However, we're really lucky to have a really good balance sheet, investors that believe in the product and that are going to give us that runway to try to continue to grow the sport.
So you are overpaid, Tyler.
Hey, but
Not for the media value.
how about Kwang Dong, man? You gave me some heat for that.
I did. I felt like you overpaid him. I'll be very honest. I felt like it's a little bit premature.
What do you think now?
I mean, he's a good player. He's a really, really good player.
It's really good.
Yeah, he is good. And I mean, yeah, but we still have Julian Arnold and Lauren Stratman to take care of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. So in 2.5 years from now, right? Like how are you getting newer, younger, like people breaking into the sport? Because there is a lot of complaints right now about people having to play qualies if you're not signed.
Yeah.
Like what's the thinking behind that? And
Well, look, I would still expect that to be the case for the foreseeable future. When we're talking about what are we doing to try to grow the sport, look, this last year slowed us down a whole year. Like I was talking to Tom the other day, and I said I finally feel like I'm back to where I was a year ago, where we can stop thinking about all the bullshit and we can start focusing on the future and the growth and how we're going to continue to grow the sport. And so, we're now focused on trying to grow the PPA Tour and the MLP, where we can actually think about those properties and be able to help tell that story. What do Grand Slams mean? What do Cups mean? What do Opens mean? Why am I here? Why is this important? Why should I care about this match? Why is this location different? And and also, how does that translate into a TV deal? How do we help tell the story? And I think that's one of the things that we're the most focused on. And same on the MLP side, trying to really look at sports leagues that have done a really good job and help mimic the things that they do well, change the things that they don't do. But that's really what we're focused on now. When we talk about players trying to break into the pro ranks, we are going to be running a Challenger PPA Tour series next year. There's going to be 25 stops. And that's also going to be an individual way for there to be some at-risk prize money. If you're not a contracted player or if you're not on an MLP team, you're going to be able to compete in this league. And we're going to offer contracts to people depending on how they finish at the end of the year. So we do see the need to have a proper feeder tour. That's not the APP. We need to have one that we're actually controlling.
Yeah.
Because that's really what people are doing right now. They're going and playing over there, getting better, and then they're signing contracts, right? People like a Will Howes or Amari Humberg or other players. We want it to all come through our system and not come through a different organization.
Anything else? We'll have some questions from the audience as well, but anything else you want to hit on?
No, I mean, I think that
I appreciate you guys. The show's been fun. I mean, what a journey for you guys.
It's been pretty wild, Connor, I'll be honest.
Connor, we'll do 5 questions.
Okay.
All right.
Have any questions?
Hold on. How do we work this?
Which one's that mic? Do you know?
I don't know. Samson, which is the mic? Wait.
All right. Okay. Ask your question.
Connor, during the Tour Wars, at any time did you...
Yeah, can you... Sorry, 1 sec.
During the Tour Wars, at any time did you think Steve Coons, that con artist, was actually going to win out?
Hey, I'll just repeat this. During the Tour Wars, at any time did you think this is a direct quote, Steve Coon, the con artist, was going to win out? Did you think you're going to lose your business at any time?
Look, there was a time where there was a lot of players that were signed towards the other competing entity with Steve, and we were still waiting on getting things finalized with Ben and Annalie. The second that we had Ben and Annalie, I knew that there wasn't going to be a problem. With that being said, there was times where Steve offered me a lot of money to, he wanted me to basically join MLP and forget the PPA Tour, and that never was a question. I mean, I've always believed in what we were doing and the model that we had, and I have the best partner in the world in Tom, and so never was I really completely shaken, but there was a split moment where, I was surprised with some of the decisions some of the players made.
Was it when Riley went MLP?
Yeah, right then I was like, oh man. And then that's when we had to go really hard after Julian and Lauren.
Yeah.
We had to go really hard after Julian, Lauren, Deckel.
And, right place, right time for Julian Arnold. I'll tell you what.
Though. There was
got a horseshoe somewhere.
You looked at our business and I said, what's it worth? And, I'm willing to spend whatever it is to keep it. You look at what's the total value, and, what we were always going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Next question.
Anyone?
Dirk, you have anything for your son?
We have one from our Instagram Live.
Oh, Instagram Live. Tyler, turn it up.
That's as loud as it goes before it.
What does Connor think about having to keep your feet behind the serving line? From Shelly Loon.
Oh, trying to keep what do I think about keeping your feet behind the service line?
Behind the service line.
Yeah, so right now you have to make contact behind the service line, and then you can finish inside. I do think that would be a good rule to change, to stay behind the service line the entire time. You have people that are really big and really tall, like a Pickle bar or a James Ignatowicz, and being able to lean so far into the court, with the court only being 44 feet.
You saw Anna Lee with a running serve.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. For example, in basketball, you can jump behind the 3-point line and shoot it, right? And
it's a three wherever you take off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even tennis too, right?
Yeah.
You can finish over the line
Haven't you seen?
after you make contact.
Haven't you seen Wemby's running his little runner from the 3-point line? I mean, if you're 7'3", you can do that. But
Yeah.
I haven't. But no, I do think that would be good. A good change to wait until the ball bounces on your serve before you can come in. That would solve a lot of the problems.
oh, here we go.
Was that video on de-weaponizing the serve all true?
Yeah. Look, to be completely honest, we had a call with the we have this pro player council with some of the players on it. We've got Colin Johns, who's on it, Elise Jones, Brooke Buckner, Matt Wright, and Catherine Parento are the 5 players on it.
Do you feel like that players' council should get a little younger?
I do think we should revamp and add a few new people. Last year we brought in Brooke,
Okay.
but I do think that I don't know if it should be a vote by the players or what necessarily. It's been really beneficial to us because that's one of the ways that we came with the progression draws and how we do a lot of the things that we do is we get a lot of feedback there. But yeah, so we met and there was a couple, not all, there was a couple really vocal people that felt like the serve was becoming too much of a weapon. And we had our head referee on the call, Don Stanley, and it felt like more complaining than anything. So what I said to them was, hey, let's have this conversation again if you can come with 4 or 5 different answers. Like, how could we actually solve it? I understand everyone thinks it's a problem, but what could it look like to solve it? And all of a sudden I'm on an airplane to Bristol, and I'm getting a text from Jason Stein and Al Tylis, and they're sending me Grayson Golden's tweet. And they said, are we really doing this? And I was like, this is the first I've ever seen it. Yeah. So I think it was more people just experimenting, trying to come back to us with a few different solutions that they thought may or may not work.
Real quick, we never talked on it, but paddles, power. What's the limit? Where are we going with that?
Yeah, I think we put a poll out, and I don't know if did you fill out the?
I never saw that.
We put a poll out to all
There's
the players.
probably a chance that went to Tyler's junk email because, yeah.
Yeah, ka-ching loon.
Yeah, exactly.
But we put a poll out, and it was every single player that filled out the thing believes that the power should come down a little bit.
How much? Like 5%, 10%, 20%?
We didn't put a percentage on there, but where we're at right now is we obviously launched the UPAA, which I think is so important. USA Pickleball really just wasn't doing anything about the actual power. The test really didn't mean a whole lot. The sticker didn't mean a whole lot. And for us, one of the hot topics over the last year has been paddles and how hot are they, how gritty are they. And for us, we spent a significant amount of money, time, effort, resource engaging a third-party lab that's out of Florida. And really what we've been focused on over the last year, it's been since November actually, is trying to understand what makes a paddle powerful, what is a powerful paddle, how do you test it, how do you have dynamic testing, how do you also have testing that shows what the paddle does, destructive testing over time. But yeah, we're very confident with where we're going. You're likely going to see the power come down, spin come down, and that will be in place for pros January 1st of next year. We're actually meeting with our paddle advisory committee and our pro players that are on our manufacturer committee in Atlanta to be able to talk about what the recommendation is going to be for management. And so next steps is we're going to be giving our recommendation for management. We're going to get feedback from the players and the manufacturers, and then we're going to revise our management's proposal and take it to the board, and hopefully we'll see some significant change.
Can I get on a committee? Sounds like a lot of committees.
Yeah, there's a lot. Aren't you? You're on a couple, I think, right?
His name is.
My name is. I'm on the, I don't even know.
You're on the Me,
Connor.
Myself, and I
Me,
committee?
myself, and I, yeah.
How many burner accounts do you have, Connor?
0.
Have you had burner accounts before?
Oh,
No,
that's
I
a good
haven't.
question.
Never.
I think Connor Ogden might have.
Connor, are you the one that banned Sorry Not Sorry?
No, I actually didn't know about it at all until I saw it hitting my Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So,
It was quite the uproar.
It was. He's got a lot of support.
He got like a cult following.
He does do a good job.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's better than you?
No, of course not. But it's different, and it's okay. You know, it's not better. No, there's nothing better. I mean, we're the #1 podcast for a reason.
Debatable.
I mean,
Who else is out there? Who else do you listen to?
you listen
I
to other
listen-
pods?
No, I listen to a lot of the pods when I'm traveling. I like listening to Zane. I think he's got a lot of unique opinions. I think Zane's someone where, like, you know, we obviously saw the world a lot different a year ago.
Hey,
And
Zane came on and he said, "I've got to give credit where credit is due."
He told us he was still waiting for a check.
there's no way.
No,
told us
he
that.
actually said his exact words were, "I gave him a lot of crap. I went at him hard. I got to give credit where credit's due because they've done everything they've said they're going to do for the last year."
Where else is he going to go?
APP.
He has to be nice.
You go APP.
No, look.
He'd actually be
Zane-
relevant on the APP.
Zane has been great to work with. I think the relationship's definitely grown. And he's a really smart guy, and he's got a lot of opinions that are super valid. So I do love listening to his podcast. I listen to you guys. I don't really listen to anybody else.
Fair. Me neither.
But yeah, and you guys are doing a good job.
Okay, anything else you'd like to add?
We have another question.
Question.
Yeah.
Oh, is this working? Hi.
Kind of. Talk loud.
I hope people are gonna be able to hear
One
this.
more question from Angel Castillo to talk about the Utah Diamond Training Facility.
Oh, the
yeah,
training
yeah.
facility. Yeah.
Yeah, we're obviously super excited about that. We're doing kind of like a multi-use development in South Jordan. It's going to be just west of I-15.
So it's probably what 20 to 25 minutes from here, south of here.
It is, and it's just the pickleball facility itself is going to be a $30 million project. It's going to have roughly 36 courts. I think kind of Lifetime Fitness meets pickleball. So we will have memberships. We'll be working with the Picklr group on being able to put this facility up and be able to operate it. And we couldn't be working with a better group to offer pickleball to the people of Utah. But when this is done, it'll be the nicest and best facility in the United States.
In the world, hey?
Yeah, probably in the
world,
world. Yeah.
In the world,
So we're really
because the
excited
nicest
about it.
things are in the United States. Is that why? Did you just say that?
What did I say?
Oh.
No, I didn't
okay.
say the nicest things. I thought it'd be the nicest facility.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, dude, we're going international.
Yeah. Is Tyler going to have an office? And can we have a podcast studio there?
Yeah, rent's expensive. Just
Oh.
kidding. Just kidding. But we're also going to be building a hotel there, and also roughly 200 apartment complex, about 200
All right,
units.
quick question you might not want to answer. Is UPA profit or non-profit?
UPAA.
Yes.
So I think the way to describe it, and I'm going to teach both of you guys and everybody right
Little
now.
economics.
Economics.
So
I'm
there's
not
a
an
few
economic
different things
major.
that we've got going on here. We've got UPA, which owns 100% of the PPA Tour and Major League Pickleball. That's one entity. That's a for-profit entity.
It's up here.
Um,
Wait, we just all just went.
yes.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Tommy, whatever in the Olympics.
The other company that we have, that Tom and I have, is called Pickleball Inc. Pickleball Inc. owns Pickleball Central, Pickleball Brackets, Pickleball Tournaments.
Shout
owns
out
a
our
piece of
sponsor,
the
Pickleball Central.
Use code KOTC 0824 this month in August.
Yes.
Yes, shop Pickleball Central for all things pickleball. So you have that business that's owned by Tom and I, and then you have UPAA. And so what UPAA is today, it's being completely funded by UPA. And right now it is structured as a for-profit entity. The reason why is it has to leverage so many of the centralized functions that we have at the UPA. Think marketing, think finance, communications, getting the website up, even manpower. But the hope and the goal of UPAA is once it's up and it's sustaining and it's self-sufficient, that will push off and it will be a nonprofit.
Once you have your people in place.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Come on. So ridiculous.
Once you clean house and you get your guys.
Clean house. We got to start house. We got to build the house. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, anything else?
Who's the next commissioner of MLP?
Ooh, that's a good question. That obviously is going to be a really important position, and we're really.
He sent in his application.
Yeah, did you get my
it?
resume?
You're going to have to stop the pod.
It was blank, but my name's on the top.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear recommendations y'all might have. I mean, for us, we're not necessarily looking for someone that just has a strong sports background or sports experience. I think somebody that understands business, but more importantly, understands pickleball. You're going to need to be able to understand sports and, you know, how leagues work, but also pickleball. And I think there's a few former players that we're currently having conversations with There's a few notable names that are in the sports that we're having conversations with. We've got a
Former
list
players,
of about
former pickleball players.
yeah, former or people that might be former players that are still currently active.
What if you're like a 4-time fantasy football champion? Are you qualified?
There's no way that's you.
4-time champ.
But yeah, anyways, hopefully we want to try to have a hire there in the next 30 days.
Aggressive.
What's the pay?
Probably be somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000.
Oh, that's very honest.
Benefits with Pickleball Central?
I would have said depends on their experience, but
Yeah, it depends on their experience. Somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000.
I'll stop the pod for that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody,
Okay.
for tuning in.
Not with those Pickball Central royalties.
Yeah, that's
no, you
true.
won't.
Those aren't bad.
All right. Thanks, guys. I mean, I answered a